Hi, so I want to make a video on the RMC-2 connecting with 140 cameras, okay? This is going to be specifically for the DHCP client, which means this is going to connect to your network or to your router. So essentially your router, your network, your local network is going to connect to that, and then your cameras are going to be connected to that same local network. I have a switch here that's connected to our network, so just a switch for us, but it's connected to our main network. And we're going to have this assign IPs to the cameras, and then we're going to have this on DHCP client mode, which will allow us to do DHCP and connect to these cameras on the local network. Okay. First thing you want to do and make sure all your 140 cameras are on the latest firmware. Okay. Again, you would go into the menu of the camera. I will reference one for now. Use your IR remote that came with the unit. Press menu. Go down to where it shows version, and for the 140 and 140T, this will be the latest version for you as of May of 2025. Okay, if you've seen this video after, check datavideo.com, look for your product and look for the latest firmware. Okay, each product will have its own specific download. Even though the 140 and the 140T share the same firmware version, it's not the same file, okay? So just keep note of that. And then it's the 140 NDI as well, okay? So that's the latest firmware for the 140 and the 140T. The 140T has a HD-base-T and a LAN. HD-base-T is being powered on by the receiver. You will still need the LAN cable connected to your network for it to work. For the 140, it's a power supply connected with the LAN cable to your network. The 140 NDI, this is a PoE camera. I have a PoE switch. One cable is powering it on and communication. If you do not have a PoE switch, the regular power supply that came with it will power it on as well, okay? The 140's NDI, 140 NDI firmware, let me show you the 140 NDI firmware. This would be the version only for the 140 NDI only, okay, as of May 2025, okay? Again, please make sure all your cameras are on the latest firmware. And the one thing you want to do as well is put your cameras in DHCP mode. You could leave static if you want to, but with the RMC-2, it won't matter. DHCP or static IP. If you want to have the cameras in order, logically you will want to put static IPs, but the RMC-2 has a way of arranging the cameras, and you could rearrange them as well, okay? So again, even if you have it in static, the RMC-2 could pick them up in a different order, and you will still have to rearrange them, okay? So this is your choice if you want to do a static IP or DHCP. For the sake of this video, I am doing DHCP, okay? So in the menu of the cameras, you would go to network settings, turn from DHCP off to on. That is on. Go into my 140, same thing. Off to on. And then let me change video because the 140 HD-base-T has its own. Same thing, network, turn on DHCP. All three cameras I have turned on DHCP, and all three are going to get either assigned the same IPs or assigned different ones, okay? We'll see right now. Okay, with that, all three cameras are DHCP mode now, as you saw. Now, the tool you'll need is the same DVIP tool you use to check the firmware and update the RMC-2, okay? So with that, we're going to open up and look for the DVIP. So you type out DVIP in your search, this application will show up. And here you go. I have all three cameras on the network. 33, 32, 34. So it is on DHCP. We confirm is click on here, and then using fixed IP should be unchecked. So the network itself did assign it in order. So that's good. 33, 32, 34. Okay. 33, 32, 34. So in reality, what I want to do for this process is I want camera 140 to be number 1. I want 140 NDI to be number 2. and I want 140T to be number 3, okay? 140 is 1, 140 NDI is 2, 140T is going to be 3, okay? If we look at what the addresses for the sign, the 140 is a 33 IP at the end, the 140 NDI is a 32, and the 140T is a 34. So in theory, if the RMC2 picked up the IPs in order, it should be, this camera would be first, this camera would be second, that camera would be third. But again, the RMC2 doesn't do that. You would have to assign your cameras correctly, okay? And I'll show you how to do that as well, okay? So just giving you a heads up of if you do a static IP or they're in order, the RMC2 still technically won't take it in order, which logically in your head you would think so, but unfortunately it doesn't. So you would have to assign it, which I'll show you. But for the most part, all 3 cameras are on the network. They're on DHCP. I have them here. So next what I want to do is make sure that the RMC2 is in DHCP client mode, which that's what it means to make this connected to your local router or network, okay? DHCP server is a different process. For this process, we're doing DHCP client, okay? Again, I do have a PoE switch, so what I'm going to do is use a single cable for power and communication. If you do not have a PoE switch, you're just connecting your cable to DVI-P first, then you're using the USB-C cable that came with it, plugging it into your computer or a power source, and you will plug in power after, okay? So if you do DVI-P port first, then power after, okay? But for the sake of this video, I have a PoE switch, so I'm just using one cable. So with that, what we want to do is make sure this is on DHCP client, okay? So with that, you want to hold cam 3 and slow, and then plug power into the camera. What we want is fast not to be red and solid white, okay? I'll show you what I mean right now, and follow my steps. So bear with me, cam 3 and slow. I am doing one-handed, so bear with me. So fast is red on. So this is DHCP server, which I don't want. With that, you unplug power again. Hold cam 3 and slow. Plug it in. Now it's on fast, which means it's gonna, fast is white, so it's just gonna find the IPs, okay? So now it should be connected to the same network with the same IP. And as you can see, it's connected to the cameras already because I connected to the network. So let's check what we've got. Camera 1, camera 2 is over there, and camera 3 is right here. Okay, so I have control all 3 cameras. After putting it into DHCP client. Say, for instance, you do DHCP client and for some reason you still can't get the cameras connected, okay? You did what we just did, and you try control cameras, or it doesn't do any flashing or anything like that. Say, for instance, you didn't get the cameras right away like I did. The next step, what you want to do is scan for the cameras, okay? To scan the cameras, you unplug power. You're going to hold cam 1 and fast and plug in power, okay? Once you plug in power and you hold down these, you let go, all of them are going to start flashing. Once these 3 just flash by themselves, you click on the corresponding amount of cameras you have. For me, I have 3, so I'm going to click 3. If you have 2, you click 2. If you only have 1 camera, then you click 1, okay? Let me show you what I'm talking about. So I'm going to hold cam 1 and fast. They're all flashing. Once these start flashing, as soon as you can, click how many cameras you have, okay? So I click 3 because I have 3, and it finds 3 cameras. That's why they're lighting up. After this, you're gonna see them flash. When they start flashing is how you want to assign the arrangement of the camera. So right now, this is flashing. It's telling you how do you want to arrange the cameras, okay? So again, remember, this is a 140. I want this to be camera 1. This is camera 2, the 140 NDI. And then camera 3 is the 140T. So the first camera I want is cam 1. Click on cam 1, then the presets will start flashing. Once the presets start flashing, you have to click on the preset. It will then activate the tally lights in the front, here, front over there, to give you the corresponding camera you're choosing, okay? So let's see, I want 140 to be 1. I think it was already 1, so you click on 1. No, it's not. Number 1 is actually this camera, which is 140T. We don't want that to be number 1. Let me click 2. Okay, the tally lights are active on this one. This is the camera I want to be 1. So you click 2, it activated this tally lights. I want that to be camera 1. Okay, that's number 1. Now I click 2 because you want camera 2 to be active, and then preset 1. It was this camera, so I don't want that one. So process elimination, number 3 is activating this one, and I want that to be camera 2. Now with that being said, the RMC at that point will automatically choose 3 to be the last camera that's there. So it's going to go ahead and choose 3 to be 140T already for you automatically, because you already chose 2, and process elimination, it's going to choose the third one for you. So with that being said, 1 is here, 2 is here, and 3 is at the end over here. And that's how you get your cameras to your range. Once you're done, and this is your desired camera position, all you do, you would just say we're end of day, on power. You should just plug in power. Nope, one-handed. You should just be able to plug in power. The RMC already knows what cameras you have. It's going to still do its little cycle. Okay, once it's done, go ahead and try controlling again. There goes 1. 2 is over here. And 3 is at the end. And this is how you connect the 140s with an RMC-2 on DHCP client, which is connecting to your local network and your in-house network, okay? That's essentially the concept of how to do it. I hope this video helps. If you have any issues or concerns, or you're still struggling, please email support@datavideo.com. Again, that's support@datavideo.com with any issues you have. Last thing to think of, if you want to check what the IP is of this unit, and you want to change the static IP on this unit, you could do that as well. This is just kind of a final step. Unplug power. You're going to hold preset 1 and 4. Plug power back in. They will light up, start flashing, then light up again. And that allows you to have the RMC-2 on the DVIP tool. And you could click on it and change it to static or a DHCP. If you're going to connect it to your network, my suggestion is leaving this on a static, just that way you know it's always going to stay in that same IP range, okay? So for me, this one is already on a static on our network's IP. So I know it's going to stay that same IP and stay there. I do see Gateway shows differently. It sometimes does that. I'm not sure why, but if you need to change it, just change it to the 172. For me, it's 172.162.1, okay? But you could do that as well. Just showing you how you could find the IP on DVIP tool by pressing preset 1 and 4. And that's basically it. And when you're done, it's going to prompt you to reboot whatever settings you do. Just unplug. You should be able to just plug the unit back in. It found the 3 cameras again. And there you go. 1's there, 2 is there, and 3 is at the end right there. that's the process of connecting. Again, if just little tips, if you want to do the 140s and static IP, you can still use this DVIP tool. You'll click on the camera you want, click on using fixed IP, and adjust the IP settings to your desired IP. Hit save, then it does the boot, ask you to reboot that camera, plug it back in, scan again, and it should have the saved IP. But again, doing static IP doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be in order for the RMC-2. You still have to assign the RMC-2 to what cameras it's going to, okay? So other than that, you're all set. Again, if you have any issues or concerns, please email support@datavideo.com. Thank you.